Okay. From Hisar, Indore. Fair enough. So good representation as of now. Pawan is logged in. Okay. Good evening, Pawan. I have made you the co-host.
Yeah, I can hear you, Deepak ji. I'm just trying to get my camera working.
Sure. Okay. Shalini. Shalini, I have made you the co-host also.
Okay. Deepak ji, nice to see you again.
Ah, same here. I'm just trying to figure out where are you. As of now, I can't see you.
Okay.
Let me
That's
just.
good. That means there are many people out there with.
Yes. How have you been, Pavanji? All good?
I'm good, sir. Um,
I always keep on saying a single word. There are no other words for saying thanks to Wipro. That it becomes a every 6 month affair to meet and greet all the fresh chartered accountants. All thanks to Narendra and Smita madam.
it's a wonderful opportunity for us as well to
Yes.
to use your platform to connect nationwide.
Yeah. But the demography turns out to be really good. I always feel pretty happy about it. So right today, if you can see the chat, we have people from Bangalore, Patiala, Punjab, Delhi, Punjab, Mansa, Indore, Surat, Rajasthan, Hyderabad, Vizag, Kanpur, Thrissur, Kerala, Amritsar, Jodhpur, Hisar, Haryana, Mumbai. Few would more join in. I think it's 6-5. We'll take a minute or two, or is it okay?
Yeah.
Or we can get going?
Okay. Let me also. I've been having some tech trouble, so let me see if I can share properly.
Yeah, we can just do the testing.
Shalini, Smita, can you confirm if my screen is visible?
Yes, it's visible.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah.
Sure.
I think it's 6-6. Pavanji, we can get
Sure.
it started.
Sure. Hey,
I'll
everyone, good
introduce you.
evening and welcome to this talk on the Wipro Cohort program. I'm Pavan Rao. I'm General Manager Finance. I'm CFO of Wipro Engineering Edge, a unit of Wipro that works on solving customers' engineering problems. I'm going to take you through probably the next 20 to 25 minutes on introducing the cohort program to you. With that, without much ado, let me get started with the presentation.
Sorry to interrupt you,
We
Pavanji.
are around after the presentation session for question answers, and hope to have some interactive questions answer session.
Pavanji,
Yes, sir.
sir, if you allow me to introduce you, I'll take a minute to introduce you so that the audience can know that who is speaking to them.
Sure.
I have a short intro for yours. Friends, all the fresh started accountants, let me have the honor to introduce Mr. Pavan N. Rao. He's an accomplished leader with over 18 years of diverse experience in corporate finance across corporate treasury, investor relations, business finance, controllership, and audit. Pawan is currently the CFO of Wipro Engineering Edge, where he's proactively partnering with business stakeholders to support its growth from $650 million in FY21 to over 900 million in 24. He has structured innovative commercial and legal contracts, negotiated with clients on commercial disputes, and improved profitability in large low margin accounts. Previously, Pawan led Wipro's investor relation function for 4 years and formulated external messaging strategy to ensure positive and fair communication to all stakeholders. In experience outside Wipro, Pawan has worked in GE corporate audit staff for 2 years, and he is none other than one of the member of the CF family. May I welcome Pawanji on behalf of Degree 2 Placements and all the fresh started accountants of November 24 exams for this pre-placement talk. Welcome, Pawanji. And as the unsaid rule is that let him speak first, let him take you through all the points he wants to make you understand about the Wipro Cohorts program. You can keep your questions ready, and then at the end of the session, once the presentation is over, you can take up your questions. In the meanwhile, the link to the registration of the program and for the exams will also be shared. So please bear with us and allow the speaker to speak in totality. Thank you. Over to you, Pawanji.
Thank you, Deepak ji. There's just one other line of introduction that I would give in this setting is that I am also an alumnus of the cohort program, and I joined Wipro as a campus recruit
Oh,
through
wow.
the Wipro cohort program. Um, so whenever Smita asks me to introduce the program to another batch of chartered accountants, I do not hesitate because I know somebody once did that for me, and that's how I got into uh, the cohort program, and that shaped my career. So thank you, and let's get into the talk, as it were. So before we talk about Wipro Finance and Wipro cohort program, first about Wipro, one of the largest, most trusted, purpose-driven technology companies in the world. Um, More than $11 billion of annual revenue now, over 230,000 employees. We work across 65 countries. Uh, what do I mean by purpose driven? I will let you know in the subsequent slide. What do we do? We do IT services, but what does IT services mean? IT services can be broken down into 4 units of the organization. Engineering edge. We engineer product solutions to customers. Anything that's built like a product. It could be a phone. It could be an app on a phone. It could be an operating system. It could be something like Zoom that we are using today. So all of those are products. So there are companies that engineer them, that build them. We work with them. We research and work with them. Full stride cloud. Almost all applications and IT services delivered through the cloud now. The infrastructure for the cloud, the applications that work on the cloud, and the entire ecosystem around it. We work on the cloud. Consulting, solving customer problems using technology, not restricting ourselves to any specific technology, but focusing on the customer problem and solving it. It could be wait times at a hospital. It could be payment systems in an African country. It could be any real life problem that we want to solve. We have domain consultants and technology consultants who work together to come up with a solution for the customer. Enterprise futuring, um, working on digital operations, data, analytics, and AI, and securing all of the IT infrastructure through cyber shields. That's the other unit of Wipro. So in some form, we work across the entire spectrum of IT services with 4 business lines that we have. Some examples of how we have helped customer. I'm not sure how many of you know, but we've a platform of Wipro works with the NASA to identify comets using their own satellite data. So it's using analytics to further science. We work with some of the largest names in the technology, banking, and the utilities world as well. Purpose driven. I said I will tell you what it means in a subsequent slide. So the 66% of the shareholding of Wipro has been irrevocably pledged for philanthropic purposes. The founding family of Wipro, Mr. Premji and his family, have pledged 66% of the shareholding. So the dividend that comes from the shares and the market value of the share itself has been pledged to a foundation that can only use it for philanthropic purposes. We've started working, while they started working in Bangalore, increasingly, they're now working in Madhya Pradesh as well. There will be a university called Azim Premji Foundation, Azim Premji University that's already operational in Bangalore, but it's operational. It's going to operate in multiple other parts of India, including the second one, interestingly, in Madhya Pradesh. So one is the philanthropy of the founding family. Two is what Wipro does itself. Wipro itself believes in working towards sustainability. Has been recognized for many years now on its contribution to sustainability. It could be our commitment towards net zero. It could be our commitment to greenhouse gases. It could be our commitment to carbon credits. It could be any of those. That is also something that we take very seriously. I myself worked on some of these projects. And there is a good finance, while it may appear to be a project away from finance, that I've had the opportunity as a finance member to work on some of these. So so I can tell you from conviction that we really believe in some of these initiatives, and we work on them. It's incidental that some of the recognitions come, the ones that you see on the screen as well. Purpose of the presentation: to hire you. Now let me introduce the cohort program. The Wipro being the large IT conglomerate, we've for about 20 years now had a deep and passionate set of people in finance who wanted to nurture the next generation of talent. And they have about 20 years ago conceptualized a program that was launched in 2006. It's called the Wipro Cohort program. It's an entry-level finance program for chartered accountants and MBAs, and the program aims to take in a fresh, young, budding, fresh chartered accountant, but budding senior finance professional, and groom him through the program to become a much better, much more groomed, and much more experienced finance professional. As I said earlier, I'm myself a product of the program, and the program has evolved through the years and now managed very well professionally, and has arguably become one of the India's, possibly the world, but I don't know much about the world, but arguably India's best entry level program for young chartered accountants. What does finance in Wipro look like? Finance in Wipro looks like this. These are all the sub functions of finance in Wipro. and a cohort can possibly work in any of them. It could be taxation, it could be controllership. Controllership team is the team that is responsible for the record to report function, and responsible to publish the financials. Interestingly, we published our quarterly results for Q3 today, just a few hours ago. Treasury manages the corporate funds, and investor relations, a department that's present in most companies, but especially in large listed companies. Financial planning and analysis, secretarial, business finance, and business support. Um, these are the sub functions within finance in Wipro. And a cohort, somebody who joins the cohort program can possibly start working in any of them. What will you learn in the finance program? You learn finance, of course. You will learn accounting. You will learn business, and you will learn along the way, which is what we call evolution. Why is this unique? Because there will be real life problems that we will ask you to solve. It will be experiential based learning. It will also have elements of classroom. But fundamentally, experiential based learning where we give you the resources and allow you to explore the solution yourself. More details about the program, right? We have 5 modules. We have a curriculum. There will be some classroom sessions, case studies, and then you will be asked to come up with a solution and present it to your peer group. And that presentation will be evaluated. And there are some really good rewards in terms of how the toppers of the program are recognized. The toppers of the program are celebrated. There's some sufficient publicity given within the company about who topped the program. And there is an exclusive lunch with CXOs organized for those toppers. With that, I will hand it over to one of my colleagues and another alumnus from the cohort program, Shalini Singh. Shalini, if your line is working, you may want to just check.
Yeah. Am I audible to anyone?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Pavan. Yeah. So, hello everyone. My name is Shalini Singh. I joined Wipro in March 2023 as a cohort, and right now I'm in my second year of the program. I worked as a GBL BFM in my first year, and now I'm in Treasury Middle Office working in credit risk profile. To give you all a quick brief about these roles, so as Pavan mentioned, that Wipro deals in different businesses, right? So as a GBL BFM, you will be responsible to correct revenue recognition, margin improvement, and cost optimization of a particular business. And about credit risk profile, so Wipro has around 4,000 active customers. Basically, we have exposure in almost 4,000 entities. So now we need to make sure that we get money back for which we have provided the services, right? For that, we need to keep doing credit analysis of our customers, whether they'll be able to pay us or not, like that. So this was just a brief, not the exhaustive list of what we actually do. Now, to talk about the cohorts program particularly, honestly, I'm a fan of this, and I'll tell you why. This program will help you in many ways. Okay, as this is going to be your first job, you surely will be a little anxious. But since you'll be hired in batch of let's say 20, 30 people, this will act as an icebreaker between you guys because it'll be everyone's first job, right? Secondly, I have worked in GBL finance, and now I'm working in treasury. I already have exposure in two very different profiles in just 2 years of my work ex. This is the reason why Wipro is called Factory of CFOs. Okay. Lastly, let me tell you the highlight of the program. So, even though I have worked in these two profiles as of now, my knowledge is not limited to these. We keep having sessions and assessments on different topics of finance and non finance as well, which obviously helps me to be updated with other finance things as well. Also, I have friends within the batch, so I have a brief idea of what they do in their profiles as well. So, to conclude, if you want your learning to never stop, I think Wipro Cohort program is the place for you. And also, I want to highlight that I remember being on the other side of the call 2 years back. So, you never know, maybe after a year or so, you might be sitting here and telling your story to maybe newly qualified CAs. So, yeah, that's it. Thank you and all the best, guys.
Smita, shall we open this up for questions?
We can, Pavan. Dale here.
Hi, Dale. Yeah.
Hi.
No, we do not have positions in Mumbai. We are a Bangalore headquartered company, and all our positions are based in Bangalore. So, and actually, worthwhile reiterating, um, the headquarters is in Bangalore, so all our roles are based in Bangalore. There was an era of COVID when people worked from home, people worked from their hometowns, but we are actually regrouping back in Bangalore in our corporate offices. So my request is only those who think that they can relocate to Bangalore, please apply.
So there's a question asking, can a May 24 qualified student apply? No. The answer is no. This is for November 24 batch. We are doing the hiring for. So what is the selection criteria? So there's certain criteria which we have kept as basic criteria when we shortlist people for the assessment round. One is that they should have completed CA finals, both groups together, in not more than 3 attempts. Willing to relocate to Bangalore, and should be from the batch of November 24.
The program is for 2 years. The learning is on the job.
So from day one, you will be a confirmed employee, and you will be working. And along with that, you will have this learning exposure also in the form of cohorts program. So one person has mentioned that he has applied for the cohorts program. What are the next steps? So if you're meeting all the criteria that I mentioned in the three criteria that I mentioned initially, then you will get a call for assessment, online assessment. You will have to give the assessment and then wait for the results so that we can take you to the next round, which is the interview round. There are two technical interviews after the assessment, online assessment. Post that, you will have a HR round interview also.
Dale, there is also a question on CTC.
The CTC is 11 lakhs per annum. Plus, you will get a deferred bonus of 2 lakhs after completion of 2 years.
Then there is one more question. One person, Manikanta, is saying, I'm eligible for Wipro GFL program. Can I also apply for the Wipro Cohorts program also?
Yes, you can apply.
Manikanta, you can apply. And there's one unique situation coming in. Amanpreet Singh, he is a May qualified, 24 qualified chartered accountant, but his articleship has got completed in December 24 only.
No, we are not giving this opportunity to the May 24 final candidates. This is only for November 24 batch. So the link to register is already given by Smita in the chat. You can click on it and start applying for it.
I have shared it again with you, Mr. Avta. Mr. Aman Talleja, Wipro GFL program already happened. I think you did not attend it. It was last week.
So assessment test is on 27. So when can we expect interviews? Soon. Within a week, we'll be scheduling the interviews. So you will have to check your mails regularly so that you can see whether you are selected. So to all the selects as well as non-selects, we send the mails just to ensure that our communication has gone from our end to all the selects as well as non-selects. Just that you have to check your mails regularly. That's it. So if we have cleared in more than 3 attempts, no. So this is the one of the criteria is to clear in not more than 3 attempts.
And 3 attempts is total 3 attempts in CA final. One group, two group, both group combined together, total 3 appearances in CA final. Otherwise, all of you will find out creative ways to justify 3 attempts.
So they're also asking Deepak on the working hours and training hours. So working hours would be 8:30 to 6. That's the normal working hour for any Wipro employee. But team to team, it differs. Maybe during quarter ends and month ends, you will have to stretch a bit. So team to team, it will differ.
Well, you should know why they're asking this question.
On a
Yeah.
lighter note, it will never be 90 hours.
So yeah, Pavan is here. He can clarify more.
Yeah, Mr. Deepak ji got it. It won't be 90 hours a week. That's not the expectation. But we are working for a company that is significant. 95% of our revenues are export. So depending on the role, there will be some overlap with international locations. So there may be a requirement to coordinate time zones for calls and discussions. So and of course, quarter end, month end filing date, income tax filing timelines. Those timelines that any article clerk will be familiar with will also be applicable for a functional finance job as well.
Oh, an interesting question from Prathamesh. Can we get an opportunity to go abroad while on the Cohorts program?
The interesting answer is it is possible, but it's not a matter of right. It is not necessarily something that will happen for sure. We do want to give opportunities to bright cohort or those who have performed well in the cohort program to display the talents maybe in front of customer, maybe closer to where we have client base. So we have been known to send young chartered accountants abroad, but it is not during the cohort program. It is after the program, after their performance, as and when opportunities arise, we are open to it. But it's not a feature of the program itself.
There's one more question which is coming from Vivek. He's already working somewhere, but he has qualified his CA in November 24 and qualified in 2 attempts. So is he eligible? Babe?
So he is already working somewhere, and he is a CA finalist of November batch.
Yes.
He can apply. he can apply.
My friends, all the CA candidates who are into this call, let me tell you one thing. Having those HR questions and CTC questions will always be there, and the message and the flyer which will be circulated to you will always be there. I would urge all of you to make the best use of Pawan's availability to us. You don't know how valuable he is to Wipro, and he investing 1 hour with us. So you can ask the technical questions, you can ask the specific questions, what work will happen, how we will get their exposure. Those things I think are more interesting to ask. I can understand your curiosity at your end to how to join, what to do, but please try to get into the understanding of the job first. So I would request, as he's available with us, make the best use of time and make those questions relevant. For the reference, if you want, Dale, can we put up that functions at Wipro slide so that they can make those questions more relevant for us?
Sure.
By the time you put up that slide, Arvind, the GFL is for Wipro Enterprises, which is a manufacturing and engineering enterprise, and this is for Wipro Technologies, the IT company. Folks, may I request you to go through this finance structure and Wipro slide and then ask the questions. Getting people like Pawan on call is not easy. Manu has a question. Pawan, in the meanwhile, the slide gets going. I want to build a career in core Indias or financial reporting profile. Is there something relevant for me in Wipro?
There is. The controllership function, as if you can see on screen, which says SOX and GRC, Consolidation and Financial Reporting for Wipro and its subsidiaries. It's a profile. We fundamentally do IFRS, which is very closely aligned with Ind AS. We also report in Ind AS. However, during the cohort program, there is a mandatory rotation. So you might not start there or you might not end there. It's not that we don't encourage specialization and specialists, but we also encourage people to rotate within the finance function. You could choose an area of specialization, no doubt, but we would encourage that in early years that you get an exposure to a variety of functions before you settle down and specialize in one of them. ACCA, I'll request Dale to respond if we cohort, whether we take them in this program or whether we have a separate program for ACCA.
Pawan, the girl has replied in the
ACCA
below
is a
chat.
different hiring. We have opportunities for ACCA, but it's different from Cohorts program.
Sorry, Deepakji, someone had asked something.
Yeah. Piyushi has already replied in the below chat. She's already a CA and parallelly she's pursuing ACCA.
Okay.
She is eligible.
So we encourage people to take on other qualifications. For instance, a lot of questions we get asked is I would like to do CFA. Please go ahead and do. No questions. But there's only one corporate treasury within Wipro, and we have more CFAs than a corporate treasury can accommodate. So just because somebody has a CFA does not necessarily mean we will be able to accommodate that person only in a treasury role. Or an ACCA does not mean that we will be able to accommodate person only in an IFRS reporting. We believe some of these are fundamental qualifications, and we would like to groom the individuals to be all-rounders. Yes, at the specific point in career, we would work with the individual and decide if a specialization for that individual works for the individual and the company, and then invest in that individual to become specialists. For instance, many of our tax team members are actually specialists. They would have done a few stints in other functions, but spent by and large most of the time within the tax function, because it takes a lot of time to develop competencies in jurisdictions and relationship with stakeholders in those jurisdictions. And therefore, that's an area where we have a lot more specialists. Will we get exposure to all these domains or some of them? I think in 2 years, it'll predominantly be a role in one or two of these. But how much exposure you get is really left to you. If there is an opportunity, do you grab that opportunity and take the exposure, or do we just do the what's base minimum work and not get the exposure, right? So the opportunity is given. It's up to you to take an exposure. In any one role, one of these roles, you can get exposure to all of the other roles. Every role has an interactive element to every other role. It's almost as if I can, I'm not sure if my screen is visible, but if I can draw a line from each of the boxes, I can draw a line to all of the other boxes. Someone says background in business, finance, and tax. Will my preference matter? We will look into your preference, and we will, more importantly, we look into your background. When we decide, we also decide on the need of the business, your background. And when you say your background, it's not necessarily your area of strength. It could also be your area of weakness. If it's an area where you're already comfortable with, maybe we might believe it's best to groom you with into an area where you're not comfortable, so you become comfortable with that situation. It might be an area where you might want to become strong at. In the second rotation, I think there is an option to give preference. Again, it's a function of a business need and your choice. Both of them will be considered, and the second rotations will be allocated. Dale, is there a mock test?
Mock test, no. So it will be an online assessment which we are planning on 27th of January. The notification will come to you once the registration gets closed. We will send you the notification over mail.
There's a question of, after cohorts, what role can you take up? So it can be, the cohort is a program, but fundamentally, role content is not very different from any of these four. There'll be maybe junior roles in the first 2 years, but after you complete 2 years and become more experienced, more senior responsibilities will get assigned in fundamentally the same set of roles that you can see across on your screen.
There's a question on percentage marks requirement for the program. So it is just to clear the CAs in the number of attempts that we have prescribed, which is not more than 3 attempts.
We are not hiring for functional consultants for SAP or Oracle in this batch. Correct me, Dale, but I don't think we are. We are only hiring for support functions. Yeah.
Yes.
I think the question is different, Dale. Pritam Singh is asking, technology consulting like SAP and Oracle will fall under which category? For example, if they are already into this.
None of them, Deepak ji. We are not hiring for technology consulting.
Okay.
This team is not hiring for that. There we will not be able to offer the rotational program. Once the technology consultancy will be a billable role where we bill the services to a customer, and then we will not have the as much flexibility to rotate the individual and give a diverse experience.
I'll tell you where the background they are coming from. Nowadays, big fours are hiring people in technology consulting role, Oracle and SAP. So they would be getting those inquiries and requirements. So therefore, they are asking. So
Um, that's a different stream in itself.
correct.
Um, and it's a good stream. I have, much as I would like to attract this audience to my stream, that's also a good stream.
Yeah.
Good ERP systems make the difference between successful companies and not so successful companies. So we need good CAs joining that stream as well.
One more question which has come in from Samiti. What kind of interview questions will be asked? They want to get the broad contours. Any idea on what they should be prepared about? Because the assessment test would be very open-ended. So do we have certain like areas where they can prepare on?
Um, as an interviewer myself, what I usually look for people people is for them to um, have a decent knowledge of what they are claiming that they know. If on their CV they write that they are interested in financial reporting, I would expect them to have some amount of expertise in financial reporting. If they claim that they have an experience in managing, I'm just picking up either GST or transfer pricing, I would expect them to have a decent understanding of transfer pricing. So it's it's not. I wouldn't expect somebody who's had experience in transfer pricing to necessarily know something about earning per share, or somebody who understands GST to be questioned on beta of a stock. But if someone says that the MAFA is their area of strength, and strategic financial management, I think is the name now. I'm still old school. I'm still calling it MAFA.
Yes.
Um, then I would expect them to have a decent knowledge there. I will not ask questions in areas that they don't have an expertise about or do not have an experience about. If they say that they have done stock audit during their audit, I will expect them to be an expert on the stock audit subject that they have done. But if they have done only if consulting on management consulting or an internal audit cycle on accounts payable, I'll expect them to be proficient in that. So please revise whatever it is that you have done. You don't have to learn something new for the interview. But if you know something, please be articulate about how you can present what you know. What was the problem? How did you solve it? Or what was the analysis? How did you go about doing the task? What are the risks and controls in that particular area of activity? Who was your stakeholder? What were you trying to do for your stakeholder? Were you trying to ensure that his stock was giving assurance on the stock? Were you trying to um, ensure that your client got an income tax refund? What is it that we are trying, and what are the steps that you went about doing it? Um, that's the kind of chat I would like to have. And in that chat, I will end up gauging your subject matter expertise, your ability to understand the problem, ability to analyze the problem, and ability to give a coherent response to the problem. That's how I would interact with the candidate. I hope that was helpful.
And they're also asking what are the sections that they will have in the online assessment. Basically, there are four sections. One is for finance related questions. They will ask core finance related questions. There, second is aptitude, third is logical reasoning, and finally English to test your language skills. So these are the sections that we'll be having in your online assessment. Somebody is asking on the accommodation part. Does accommodation will we get accommodation when they join? So the initial accommodation of 14 days is provided by Wipro when you join Wipro. Post that you will have to figure out your place to stay.
Will there be any negative marking, Dale, for this online assessment test?
Last time we didn't have any negative marking. This time they will be indicated. I mean, they will get to know whether if there is a negative marking we are enabling it. They will get to know
Okay.
in the mail. Yeah.
Okay, last time, Dale, as far as I recall, there were certain questions related to the current affairs and the current knowledge also. So this time, has there been change in the sections? Core finance, aptitude, logical reasoning, English?
No, this is the pattern that we'll be following.
Okay.
Yeah.
How
So
many questions will be having?
that we'll get to know only next week. So I'll not be able to tell that now.
Okay. Any other questions which my candidates had? Because I think we have understood two very important things. No extraordinary effort needs to be done right now. You need to be thorough with your preparation of what work you have done in your articleship. Whatever you have written in your CV, once you get into the interview round, you should be able to clearly explain and justify whatever is written, you have actually done it or not, as Pawan said. Secondly, the first stumbling step could be online assessment, which you have to clear. It will have four sections: core finance, aptitude, logical reasoning, and English. Any other questions you have?
Thanks for highlighting about the resume part, Deepak. Because we would want, if you're clearing your online assessment, we'll be asking you to share your resume over mail to finance.cohorts. So when you share your resume, it is important that you highlight your achievements and give a brief idea about your articleship experience also. That is very, very important. So thanks for highlighting that, Deepak.
Any? Dale, I would like you to address this question from Arushi. Passing criteria of online assessment test. Any cutoff marks like you have in CAs like 50%, then you pass. So any cutoff or criteria is there in online assessment?
So that is decided after the assessment, after we going through all the marks. So there's no cutoff. There's no what is a guideline for that as of now. We'll have to check all the marks to understand what cutoff we should be keeping. So that will be determined only post the assessment.
Is it coming from CA community? Everything above 50 is like the best thing to happen. If it goes
So
beyond
we'll
that,
get to know what is how the people have performed for the assessment once we receive all the test results.
okay.
And that's how we finally calculate.
Mhm. Okay, so now they are coming to all the job questions, number of vacancies. They want to have as many as well, provided you clear the criteria. Smita
Uh,
is smiling.
we have enough openings, so you please concentrate on the assessment, how to clear that, and all that. We have enough openings. Please focus on your performance part now. Rest will be taken care.
Dale, I think this is also an addressable question. Sravanti has asked the question that this 2 year cohorts program comes out with as a particular bond, or they have to give it in writing, or if they are not satisfied, they leave in between. I'm adding up a couple of questions which were there earlier also. So this
They,
two
they need not sign any bond. There's no bond. as such. But this program will run for them for 2 to 2.5 years, and they don't have to sign any bond when they join Cohorts program, and it's a normal job. I mean, it's a confirmed job from day one. So you should not think that it is just the training that will happen for you. They are supposed to deliver in their specific job roles as well.
Correct.
And you will get to see two roles in 2 years time, in that Cohorts program. Whatever duration we take for the Cohorts program, they'll get to see two roles. So there's a definite job rotation for anybody who is joining Cohorts program. So, and this rotation is mandatory for everyone. Whoever completes the first the duration that we have kept for the first role, they will have to mandatorily rotate to the next role. Yes, this is a training in addition to the work at Wipro. That is correct.
One very technical question is coming in that once if they clear off all the rounds, what will be the joining date? Because most of them will be completing their articleship in March. And this comes very validly because the attempts got postponed in COVID times.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that,
So,
the articleship got started late. Usually the
mm.
attempts happen in November, but that happened in January 21.
So Deepak, we have kept the joining week as a first week of March only.
Okay.
But we understand that people who have cleared in first attempts, their articleship will complete sometime later, after March, I think.
Hmm.
So the thing is that they can write to us, and we'll take each case
Okay.
separately, and accordingly we'll take a decision on that. Date of online assessment is 27th Jan is what we have decided as of now. However, you can check your email. You'll get a mail if you are shortlisted uh, from the initial criteria that we have kept. If you're shortlisted, you will get a mail.
I will be forwarding to all of them this brochure also, and along with the message which Smita has sent. I've already shared this message with them, Smita, again and again they are asking.
This is only for Bangalore location. The job location is Bangalore. And as I told you, don't have to worry. You can be in Bangalore. We'll be providing the initial 14 days accommodation plus your travel ticket to reach Bangalore. All those will be taken care by Wipro.
Madhavan, there would be no need for a CA membership number. Don't worry. That is a requirement of ICI campus, not for Wipro off-campus hiring, which we are doing right now here. Jatin, the flexibility in eligibility criteria is not there. It has been addressed already in the session. I think, Dale, we have done with the questions. And I
Great.
think we can wrap it up. I have also shared the message with them, which Smita has shared with me along with the brochure also, once again. So they can come back and then register also.
Great, Deepak. One more question. One or two more question I can see. Okay. Oh, it's regarding the fourth attempt. No, you will not be eligible to apply.
These are smart chartered accountants. They try to pursue you to get you from your mouth that, "Arey, nahi chal jayega," and then will hold you. Kya? You said. No worry.
Okay.
So, guys, I think the work is like, if I can sum it up in one thing, one liner, a cohorts program is as good as a paid MBA, which you will do for 2 years with a salary. Can I concur with this sentence, Pawan?
You can. That's how I think of it.
Yes. So all those candidates who want to have the taste of all the divisions in a flash of 2 years, along with the corporate exposure into the startup capital of the country. You can be a part of this particular program. I'm just summarizing things. You will be having an online test. Once you have the online test, then you'll be taken up for interviews. The details are shared here in the messages and on the WhatsApp groups also, which I have made. So please refer them. Okay. And on behalf of all of you, I would like to put up a sincere thanks to Pawan, Dale, Smita, as well as Shalini for pulling out time and making you aware of this wonderful opportunity. Academy has partnered with Wipro since last almost a decade now, and we are so proud to say many of my students have been a part of this program. Akshay Shrimali and one girl with a name with a surname Biani, they have been with you, and they had that famous CFO lunch also. Akshay won that contest and had a CFO lunch also.
Good to
So,
hear that.
so thank you very much, Pawan, Dale.
Thank you very much, Deepak ji and Nahata, for this platform. We hope to see many of the participants in the interview rounds and progress further to join Wipro. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dale.
Thank you, Deepak. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Smita ma'am.
Thanks
You
for
are not able to unmute yourself today, I know. But that's okay. And thank you very much, Shalini. Hope you'll have another great year at Wipro. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Deepak. Yeah.